Hello, Enid. I am Diana Hernandez, Communication Assistant for the City of Enid. With me is City Manager Jerald Gilbert. Jerald, it's good to see you, and thanks for joining me.
It's good to be seen.
Yes. All right, we're going to jump into some press releases here real quick. Okay. Today, press release that was released was a scheduled water outage for a fire hydrant removal at 1000 to 1200 block area of South Van Buren Street. This is scheduled for tomorrow, January the 20th, from 8 to 12 p.m. After that, water is scheduled to be restored. Today also released was an emergency water outage on Jane Lane from West Randolph Avenue to Cogdell Drive. The water is approximately estimated to be restored by 4 p.m. today. January the 15th, a press release was released that new water installation prompts water outage at Randolph Avenue and 8th Street intersection. Now, this is scheduled for today, January the 19th. Water outage is expected to be restored today at 4 p.m. Also, press release sent out January the 13th is the closure of Cherokee Avenue and Lakeview Drive. Closure started yesterday, January the 18th, will last approximately 2 weeks, and this is going to be for concrete repairs. And on January the 12th, another press release sent out, closure of 1420 Quail Creek area. This began January the 14th. It was also for concrete repairs and expected to last for approximately 3 weeks. Now we're going to jump into a recap. Now, a big recap is Christmas in the Park. Now, Jerald, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, hey, I want to thank all the city employees, and some of them are on the screen, who participated and made Christmas in the Park so successful for the city. It took a lot of effort. I appreciate the leadership of Everett Glenn, Corey Buller, Kim Haley, and others involved in that, Casey Lowry. And I'm missing a whole lot of people because there was a whole lot of employees that helped put up the lights and helped put on and wear those costumes that you would see in the park. But I've had so many positive comments from the public about what a great thing that was and how it made people feel good and happy. And what better time to have that than during one of the toughest years we've all experienced with the pandemic. Absolutely. And so I believe it was the 3rd year we did it. We're going to keep on doing it. And we're going to get the community even more involved, and we're glad that it's been such a success. And so I just want to thank all the employees that made that happen. They made a difference every day, and they made some folks happy in a tough time. So.
Absolutely. And in a way, it was even better this year. Like, yes, I feel it was better. It was a drive-through, it was safe, and they did a really good job, all in their outfits, and the Cookie Monster was out there above and beyond, for sure. It was really, really great.
Yes, the Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
Along with some of the other traditional characters. Interesting stuff. A lot of creativity from the city folks, and I appreciate the great things they're doing. And I appreciate the comments from the public. That's well received. We don't always hear good things about what we're trying to do, but we sure did about Christmas in the Park.
Absolutely. All right, other neat things going on in the community is the new Alfred Baldwin sign. And what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a fantastic thing. I know that Commissioner Norwood championed that cause. There was a lot of support in the community and a lot of support with the City Commission. And again, I would say Commissioner Norwood worked through the process with the city, and it was a great result. I think you got a picture of the sign up there now. The signs are all up, and they look great. And I'm very excited that 5th Street is now Pastor Alfred Baldwin Jr. Way, and it will be that way from now on. So good job to the city crews who got the signs out, and I appreciate all the effort. I did see Mrs. Baldwin at the MLK March on Saturday, and so it was good to see her, and it was good to know we had the signs up, and everything looks good. So
So I was particularly talking to my brother about this now. Pastor Baldwin, as I know him, he was actually my biology teacher. He was my brother's biology teacher. He's my sister's biology teacher. And so it was a really neat thing to share this with him when he came to visit Enid for Christmas, to let him know that he was commemorated with that. So it was really, really neat. So it's gained a lot of awe and respect from a lot of people who knew him, so it's a really neat thing.
He was an educator. He was a great pastor. He worked and helped the community work through a difficult time frame.
Yes.
When the Missionary Baptist Church was burned down by people with evil intent. And you know, it's great that it's right next to the church now on what used to be 5th Street, I guess. Now it's Pastor Alfred Baldwin Jr. Way, and he had such an impact on so many people.
Oh, yes.
I'm glad that he could be honored in that way.
Yes. Okay, now a week from today is going to be the Candidate Forum, January the 26th. Now, who is sponsoring that?
Well, the newspaper and media outlets, like the radio stations, are sponsoring that. The City of Enid is certainly providing the venue and the location, and we're happy to host that. We think that we want more people to be involved in the municipal elections, and the best way is for the candidates to answer questions and hear from the public. But I'm also glad that the city isn't writing the questions. The city isn't being the moderator. We've got people doing that. I think Frank Baker, actually is the moderator, and there may be somebody else asking questions. I think various people asking questions from the media outlets. We'll be there to cover it. The communications team will be there so that more people can see it if you can't make it in person. But it's a great opportunity. It's the forum. The election is on the 9th, and this is the only forum. So it's a great chance to come and get your question answered or listen to what the candidates have to say so you can make an informed choice if you're in Ward 3, Ward 4, or Ward 6.
Thank you for sharing that, and I look forward to working that absolutely. Now we're going to jump into my favorite part, which is highlights for the departments here of the City of Enid, people who work behind the camera, people who don't have the most glorious jobs but do a great job on serving our city. So first off, communications department. As you can see, we have a new intern, which is Kirby Scott. He, as you can see, he has recorded, edited, and produced a video of the demolition of the old skate park, working on upcoming project for spay and neuter awareness for the month of February. Kirby, it's an honor to be working with you, and I can't wait to see your upcoming project next month. Next department is human resources. So here at the City of Enid, it's such a great community, really it is. And so here are some opportunities that you can apply for. You can go to enid.org and you can go to the careers tab. And if you are interested, we would love to have you join us and have you on board. For Public Works, Public Works, Cruise Lane asphalt on North 2nd Street between East Princeton Avenue and East Cornell Avenue. Thank you, Public Works, for everything that you do. And Parks and Recreation is another department, and we just finished talking about Christmas in the Park and the great job that they did there. And right now, in this picture, you can see crews installed scoreboards at the new Croston Fields. And so that's awesome. That's a new addition. I know there's a lot of work being done at Croston Park, so it's really neat what they're doing there. And next department is Technical Services. Crews making electrical repairs to damaged intersection at the West Roop Avenue and South Cleveland Street. And there they are, working away. And next department is Fleet Management. Crews performed brake work on a truck in city's fleet. Thank you, Fleet Management. I know that your jobs are not as glorious, but thank you for keeping us going. And Solid Waste Services, solid waste weighing and brush loads at the landfill, and that was a huge project. The ice storm debris project has just finished January the 15th.
Yes.
So that's something that
It's a monumental effort.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thousands of tons of brush hauled away.
Mm-hmm. So thank you, Solid Waste, for all the heavy lifting that you have done for the city as a whole. And next department is water production. Pumpage for the week was 48,601,380 gallons. And water production replacing a water well there. So not only do they work on city water, they work on water wells as well. Thank you. And next department is utility maintenance. Getting down and dirty there and repairing a water main on Ridge Place. What do you have to say about these awesome people?
Yeah, it's just great efforts. I'm glad that you highlight what the employees are doing. Well, I always learn interesting things from these weekly reports and the information that you're sharing here from the weekly report. A point that I see on this utility maintenance deal, I thought we had to go out there and cut pipe away, and sometimes we do. But in that case, that was a good picture of they take a sleeve around a pipe that's got a hole in it or a crack, and they're able to repair it, and they're able to do that faster and more efficiently than trying to cut the pipe away and put new joints in and things. And so it's amazing that the skilled employees that we have, and how the job has gotten fine-tuned over the years. So some great pictures of stuff in action here at the city.
Absolutely, I agree. Now we're going to jump into the commission meeting.
Oh, yes.
Now the commission, the study session and the commission meeting is not going to be tomorrow.
Right.
When is that?
Yes, it's Thursday, and I know we almost always have it on the first and third Tuesdays of the month. But anytime there's a holiday, like there was yesterday for Martin Luther King Day, we try to move the meeting to Thursday so that we don't, because it feels like a Monday for us at the city. We were fortunate to have the holiday yesterday. And so the meeting's actually on Thursday. It'll be at the Stride Bank Center, where it has been for a while, just so we can spread out more as we try to hopefully get to the end of the pandemic sometime this year. Study session will be at 5 and regular sessions at 6:30. And at 5, we'll be talking about the annual audit. So our auditor, Mike Gibson from RSM, will be here to address the commissioners, to answer their questions, or to really tell them about the report. The audit report is out there. I don't know if we've got it on the website yet, but we will soon, so everybody can look at it that wants to. It's all of our financial statements and footnotes, and it's several auditor reports, one on the financial statements, one on our internal control, and one on our grants. And there was one finding this year. It had to do with internal control on financial reporting, and the auditor had made a couple of notes on construction in progress amounts. We had missed capturing initially some amounts for Caw Lake. However, through the finalization of the process, we've captured all those. The financial statements are properly stated. There was also a note about a deferred outflow on a police pension. So it's some interesting stuff. It is some technical stuff. Our accounting staff will be there to talk about it a little bit, but really Mike Gibson is the partner in charge of the audit, and everybody wants to hear from him how the city's doing financially and what he found. And so if you're interested in that, tune in or come to the council meeting. There'll also be a report. I believe it's attached to the agenda, and it'll be online soon if it's not. And then we're also talking about water line replacement throughout the city where we have gaps, and particularly gaps in gaps for fire flows, because that can be a safety hazard, but it's also an impediment to development, whether it's residential or businesses. So we're going to be talking about that, and then we're likely going to be putting some budgeted funds in for the next year's budget that starts July 1st to fix some of those gaps. So we're also going to show some progress we've made over time. Engineering will show that, and they'll use our GIS system to show everybody that. So that's the main event in the study sessions. In the regular session, it's a pretty short meeting, but I did want to mention that we're going to add a couple of items, probably today, and definitely no later than tomorrow. We have, well, at least two things. One is there's been some recent controversy about a building permit that the city issued for the 580 Coffee House downtown, and the permit is to allow for an awning for outdoor seating, a covering, and some tables, and an outdoor bathroom. And 580 has requested, there's a picture of them to do this. It's in the back. They've requested the building permit to do it to serve their customers, and their customers include homeless people or people that are experiencing homelessness. And And that is a concern for some of the, everybody is sympathetic to the issue. However, having the breezeway issue fresh in everybody's mind, nobody wants a situation where the problem is exacerbated. So I think that we're going to talk about that with the commission on Thursday. I believe that there will be some businesses, and probably Clint Claypole, who represents the businesses, who may be appealing that building permit. I think they'll be there Thursday. I think that'll be good for everybody involved to hear. I do think there may be an appeal coming of that building permit, and that's fine. If that comes in, or when that comes in, we will stay the building permit, meaning that we will tell Jeremiah that he can't proceed until the hearing has been had. And that will allow some time maybe for all the sides to talk and maybe find a compromise that might be acceptable. Otherwise, we believe it may be going to Board of Adjustment if there's an appeal. So that's the update the commission and the public is going to get on Thursday, roughly. I've also asked James Neal, who is leading the Homeless Coalition in the city, well, of all the organizations in the city, other than maybe Forgotten Ministries. And in fact, there's a meeting today at 3 o'clock that he has scheduled monthly meetings for, well, since we started meeting back when the breezeway, back when we basically took the chairs and tables out of the breezeway, and it was an effort to try and get all the organizations to work together to find a suitable replacement for the breezeway. That hasn't occurred yet. However, that work is still in progress. So James is going to give an update to the City Commission, and all the folks can hear what that is at that time. So that's a couple notable things we'll be adding that's not currently on the agenda. And we'll get those posted. The meeting again is Thursday. So we look forward to everybody that wants to come to the meeting or watch online to see what's going on.
All right. Thank you for sharing all that useful information. That is a whole lot there going on. So
yes, it's a mouthful.
Thank you for briefing us on that. Now we're going to jump into some COVID numbers. And if we can show that on the screen real quick. Now, for Garfield County, the COVID numbers, the total confirmed numbers for COVID-19, it's 6,000. My numbers are a little different than there, but I have not updated them. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot them out from my paper here. 6,371. And total confirmed cases for Garfield County is 51. And total recovered cases of COVID-19 is 5,758. And active cases 562. So I do apologize that the numbers that were on the screen are not the numbers that I'm reading out loud, but the ones that I am reading out loud are confirmed as of this morning. Now, total confirmed cases for Enid is 5,608. Total confirmed deaths, 47. Total confirmed recovered is 5,073, and active cases for Enid is 488. Now, I do want to show another slide. Now, this is something from the community health update that Maggie Jackson shared with us, Ray Johnson, and also Janet Cordell when they came on and gave the community health update. These are the phases of vaccinations. You can see where you fit into this, but they did encourage individuals to go ahead and register to get vaccinated, even if your phase was not in queue yet. Do you want to share any thoughts about this, Jerald?
Yeah, I would just say COVID-19 has been a horrible thing that has happened to us over the past 9 months, going on 10 months, going on seems like a year. There is light at the end of the tunnel. The health department and the vaccine has gotten to Garfield County. They started giving shots on New Year's Eve, and that was only just over 2 weeks ago. They were giving shots yesterday at the mall, and I believe that they're moving towards giving shots, vaccinations every day. The best information is out on their Facebook page to find out what those schedules are. I encourage everybody that meets the criteria currently, which is over 65 healthcare workers and first responders, please go out there and get your vaccination. It's free. If you need a ride to the event, to the mall, the EPTA, the city will take care of that for you. You just have to call in and tell them you need a ride, ideally 24 hours before you would tell them, and they'll schedule a ride for you, get you out there. I think they're doing a really good job. I haven't been out there yet, but I know the mayor's gotten his shot, and I think a few other city employees and folks have gotten their shot that fit the criteria. And we're excited that there's been quite a few shots given, and there's more coming. So they're currently in phase 2, and I think when they say that we're ready to move to phase 3, that will be some additional folks that you can see on the state's plan. And then ultimately everybody's in phase 4. So I think it's progressing pretty fast, and it's good because that's what it's going to take, I think, to end the pandemic. So I'm very thankful. I believe that Garfield County is doing a good job rolling it out. You do need to, nowadays, the state has a sign-up website roster, and there you can see you need to go out to that site, vaccinate.oklahoma.gov, sign up, and then you'll get notices when it's your turn. And then when you get your first shot, they're supposed to give notices when it's time for your second shot, too. So, and if this isn't convenient, I realize not everybody has access. You can call a phone number, and certainly if you need help, reach out to the county or reach out to us at the city. We'll be glad to help anybody get on the website and get appointments set up.
Absolutely. And thank you for bringing up that Enid Transit is offering free rides to anyone who is needing a ride to go get vaccinated.
Yep.
So that is really neat. Any closing thoughts before we close out?
No, I appreciate it's 2021 is looking very bright. I think one of the most exciting things is the rollout of the vaccine. I believe that within a few months, I think most of us, I don't know how fast they'll move through the phases, but I believe by mid-year that most of us will have had the opportunity to take the shot, and I hope that most of us do, because that's what I think it's going to take to get past this. And I appreciate. I know it's been tough for a lot of folks, particularly small businesses and individuals who may have lost their job. I know the city has used some of the CARES money we've gotten from the federal government to help people. We've allocated $600,000 to Catholic Charities and CDSA to help with rent and to help with utility bills. I know recently the city worked with ERDA to allocate $200,000 for small business grants. And that's for folks with 2 to 25 employees, and there's some criteria. I advise you to go out to the ERDA website, growenid.com, and take a look at that. I believe that one of the other things we'll add to the agenda is an item for Lisa Powell at ERDA to update the commission on applications, and I won't be surprised if the commission doesn't take a look at that and see if there need to be modifications to the program, or to see if they want to add more money to that program. So this is all in an effort to take and funnel CARES money to people that need it. So if everybody can hang in a little bit more, I think pretty soon we'll all be vaccinated, and maybe life can return closer to what it used to be. That's right. All right, thank you, Jerald.
You bet. And for you watching, join us next Monday at 1:30 p.m. for another city update. Until then, stay safe and have a great week.
Crime of the Week.
Hello, Enid. This is Officer Torres with the Enid Police Department. We are asking for your help in our investigation of a theft of a car hauler. On January 1st, an officer was sent to the 1100 block of Sunnybrook Lane. The homeowner said he noticed his car hauler had been taken from his backyard. The man said he asked his family members about possibly borrowing the car hauler, but none said that they did. The estimate value of the car hauler is $500.
Anyone having information that will lead to the arrest or prosecution of this or any other crime is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 580-233-6233 or go to the website www.enid.org/police and submit a tip anonymously. You can also text your tip to 847-411. Just type EPD tip and then your message in the text box. You can earn a reward of up to $1,000, will not be required to testify, and will not be identified.
Thank you for your support.
2,500 persons were present when the cornerstone of the new convention hall was laid at 3 o'clock Friday by the Grand Lodge, AF and AM. The Masons, escorted by the Knight Templars, marched to the new building where G.A. Gannison, Grand Marshal, asked silence, and a prayer was offered by William Lamberton, Grand Chaplain. After the stone was laid, Edmund France spoke at the ceremony.
I'm here through the insistence of His Honor the Mayor, and not through any desire of my own or mistaken idea that I'm the proper person to voice the sentiments of the citizens of Enid on this occasion. These exercises mark the culmination of 20 years of dreaming and planning. We are at last to have a convention hall, a great auditorium, a place of assembly, a memorial building, if you please, reared on this foundation and dedicated to the memory of all the soldiers dead and to the uses of all the soldiers living, of all the wars in which our nation has been engaged since its stormy and glorious beginning.
Built from 1919 to 1921, Convention Hall served as the cultural center for Enid for many years. It was designed by the architectural firm of Leighton, Smith, and Forsyth and built by Bass and Frankenfeld, costing $400,000. In spite of problems with the supply of steel and a bank defaulting on the building bonds, they laid the cornerstone on January 14, 1921, in a Masonic ceremony dedicating it to the men who gave their lives in the recent World War. One of the most important of the early cultural events held at Convention Hall was the grand concert by John Philip Sousa, held Wednesday, December 9, 1925. Other famous artists who performed in the Convention Hall in its early days were Madame Schumann-Heink, Mary Garden, Bob Wills, Fred Waring, and the famous Russian ballerina Anna Pavlova. In recent years, artists such as Enid native, operatic soprano, and Oklahoma Music Hall of Famer Leona Mitchell.
All right, that's boogie woogie time.
And a Swiss boogie-woogie blues and jazz pianist, Sylvain Zing. The hall served as a venue for stage productions such as Hichiku, Algie Field minstrel shows, and George White's Scandals.
Yeah, right.
The Tri-State Music Festival has held its grand concert in Convention Hall for over 80 years. And the Enid Convention Hall even made an appearance in the 1973 movie Dillinger. In 1992, President George Bush spoke at the venue while campaigning. In addition to hosting concerts, the arena was home to the Oklahoma Storm, who won their only championship under head coach Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The Skelter Conference Tournament was held at the arena from 1964 to 2009. The 2,500-seat basketball arena in Convention Hall was renamed in 1993 to Mark Price Arena to honor basketball player Mark Price, who was an Enid native and who had played for Georgia Tech and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Convention Hall has been home to Enid High School basketball and the Enid native Price brothers. After undergoing an estimated $7 million in renovation, Convention Hall reopened with an 11,000 square foot grand ballroom, a 3,000 square foot Benson ballroom, and over 5,500 square feet of meeting rooms. It is home to Gaslight Dinner Theater. Other events held at Convention Hall are the State of the City Address, Walk of Fame ceremonies. It has been a great place for weddings, a space for meetings for civic clubs, and a great location for conferences.
In short, here every civic organization, every communal undertaking will find a home. Here our people, young and old, will congregate upon occasion and improve the passing hours. Here will no doubt be held from year to year the graduating exercises of our great university and of our splendid high school. Here will be staged wholesome athletic contests, school pageants, debates, lectures, soldiers' reunions, and 1,000 other events that are future and therefore unforeseen.
So today, we celebrate 100 years of the Stride Bank Center's Convention Hall, still going strong. Communications is a way of conveying information from one party to the other party. It can be individuals, or it can be organization, or it can be from the city to the residents, or vice versa.
It entails a lot of moving parts like marketing, public relations, journalism, videography, photography.
And we're the voice for the people to the city, and from the city to the people. We're basically a mediator.
I used to be in Enid Television Network, which was part of the PR department. At the beginning of 2020, we went off Suddenlink, and so we're no longer a television network.
We had determined that most of our hits come from social media anyway.
Many organizations like the City of Enid are hitting social media because that facilitates information a lot quicker, and it's in the pockets of individuals, and they can pull it up. It's effective, it's efficient, and it's quick.
So we've got a presence on Facebook and YouTube, and then Twitter and Instagram.
Our focus is to utilize any platform that the residents and citizens and visitors and businessmen use to effectively communicate to them, to get feedback from them.
And so we renamed the department Enid Communications.
Enid Communications now is the entire communication department rolled into one facility.
And we're more of a team than we ever were before.
An individual working in the communications department needs to be able to juggle and be flexible with many moving targets, and at the same time be accessible at all hours of the day.
We all step outside of our comfort zone quite a bit.
Things are rapidly changing, very fluid.
Ibilang mo ako. Miro ganon ako na persa. Yo cuento. 저도 포함됩니다.
We do a lot of research for video productions.
Video, obviously.
Create engaging content.
We do the annual report every year.
Website.
Write speeches.
PSAs, we do all kinds of stuff.
A lot of graphics.
A lot of different things.
Also, we do a lot of written communications like press releases.
Press releases.
Press releases.
And then we do signs a lot for the Parks Department. Anytime they have an event, we'll create the signage for Facebook, Instagram, and even the banners that they place out in the community.
And the list can go on and on.
We also handle a lot of photography when it comes to the city.
It just goes on and on.
We have an emergency management app. We have one called Secret Fix, and it's basically for reporting issues or actually having a service request like a bulk pickup. We work tirelessly for the people, we really do.
Hello, everybody. I wanted to introduce the Annual Service Awards that we're doing this way on video this year because of the pandemic that's affected us all. And in an effort to keep everybody safe and avoid large groups, this seemed the best way to do it. So thank you for submitting your pictures to the communications team. They've done a fantastic job with HR putting this together. And so for 2020, we have our Annual Service Awards via video, and it looks really great. There's approximately 70 of you that have received service awards this year. You should have received your certificate and your pin and your gift card already. And we do this we recognize people from 5 years all the way out to 45 years this year, which is a wide range. And every year we recognize several employees, and we've got, like I said, everything from 5-year employees to a 45-year employee in Tim Hall. Tim, you've done a fantastic job for the city, and you're still going after all these years. And 2 40-year recipients, and Brian O'Rourke and Bobby Smith. So it's a lot of wake-ups to get to 40 years, but I want to thank everybody for their selfless service, their public service, all the way from 5 years, that's how you get started, 1 year at a time, all the way up to 45. So I look forward to seeing you around the city. When I see you, I'll congratulate you. Enjoy spending that gift card. And I look forward to seeing you all We're seeing the next batch of recipients this year in 2021 in person.
Congratulations to the 2020 Service Award recipients. 5 years of service. Michael Aguilera. Colton Alcorn. Marlon Becker. Courtney Bunnett. Carlos Bastillos. Kobe Carson. Renee Cordova. Lana Craddock. Tyler Evans. Joy Greer. James Hamlin. Bill Kern. Alyssa Lack. George Levy. Nathan Mitchell. Daniel Moyer. Matthew Nails. Nicholas Osborne. Isaac Perez. John Ridge. Arnold Sepulveda. Nicholas Shiplett. Colin Smith. Cody Spurlock. Darryl Stubbs. Dane Tate. Walter Tuttle. Serena Willer. Greg Williams. 10 years of service. Aaron Barber. Jarrett Buford. Charles Daniels. Sarah Del Angel Becerra. Anna Grayson. Margaret Holmes. Wendy Howell. Tatum Keegan. Stephanie Morgan. Timothy Stevens. 15 years of service. David Alberts. Jeffrey Buffalo. Karina Crawford. Mark Fry. Jerald Gilbert. Michael Honigsberg, Nicholas John, Morali Kata, John Long, David Osborne, Annette Radomski, Annie Sanders, 20 years of service, Anthony Abbey, Louise Anguiano, Alan Crawford, John Courier, Michael Evans, Chad Mance, Brandy McFadden, Jason Mitchell, Jennifer Smith, Tom Watts, Corey Weber, 25 years of service, John Buller, Don Dorrell, Gregory Gordon, Jeffrey Roche, 30 years of service, Linda Pickens, 35 years of service, Timothy Dowers, Frank Haley, Earl Hidden, 40 years of service, Brian O'Rourke, Bobby Smith, 45 years of service, Timothy Hall, Congratulations to the 2020 Service Award recipients.